lawyer here, you know, statement each month, or is this just like accumulating and then we're gonna get hit like with 10 grand at the end of the year for this?
They bill as they go. Every time they do billable work, every time they respond, send a letter, respond to any kind of correspondence.
Each month, we can collect.
We bill that back onto the account.
Right.
We're paying it up front, hoping to collect later.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, what else you have?
Gail moved to proceed with foreclosure on Tarquino. Is there a second or a discussion?
What's your advice on that? Do you think that's a smart thing to do, or is it something we should be doing at this time, or what?
I would say I'm curious if the bank's already attempting to foreclose, because we're going to be subordinate to that mortgage.
So why don't we?
So we could throw money at it, and the bank's going to come on top of us anyway. If that's
We've got to settle this. So, I mean, we've got to tell Diane that we're backing her up. I mean, we can't have this thing hanging for another year. Let the lawyer do her job.
But you're talking about the
she's not making a
pickup truck.
recommendation.
You're talking about
No.
the pickup truck issue?
This is
something different.
Assessments.
assessments.
Yeah, the assessments.
So why do you feel that we should not make a move?
I would like more information before spending money on foreclosure. The ones you approved last month, there was a legitimate reason. In one of the cases, the bank had dismissed their foreclosure. And that's an opportune time for an association to go after the money, because the bank's case isn't gonna come in on top of us and shut us out of it. But on this one, I don't know. I'm not an attorney, but she's not saying you should foreclose. She did last month on those other two. She said, I recommend foreclosure. She's saying at this time, this was received today by me. And it says, at this time, if the account is still delinquent with the association, we can proceed to foreclosure on the unpaid assessments. Please advise. My response to that would be, what's your recommendation? Is there a bank foreclosure pending? I'm just not sure if there is. If there was a bank foreclosure process, I would say no, but the attorney may say differently. I would rather investigate.
All right, so can this wait till the next meeting?
I mean, it's been a year already.
Yeah, but there's still the bank involvement here that it may not make sense for us.
It may or may not. I'm not sure. I don't have that information in this letter that I received today.
All right, we need to find
That's
out
just
more
my opinion.
information.
Well, that's what you get paid for, your opinion. So we want to know if it's a smart move.
I mean, she's working on a case with Tarquinos, and I assumed we'd given her the go-ahead last month. So.
Yeah, the two that were approved last month is Falcone. The mortgage foreclosure was dismissed. We requested authorization to proceed with foreclosure, which was provided by Sarah Carlin. At this time, we will proceed with the foreclosure on the property and keep you updated as the case proceeds. The same thing for Della Porta.
What? Yeah, Sarah emailed it to everybody. You're on here. Why do I have all these sheets of paper? Because I got them from Sarah.
So, all right, well, I would say then if you feel strongly about holding off on it, then I would hold off till next meeting. How do you feel?
No, we're talking Tarquino right now.
You want to go through with it?
Well, Gail's got a
All right.
motion. Do you second?
Make a motion. You want to make a
I
motion?
make a motion that we advise her to go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, Nick seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
What was the vote?
Gail moved to approve foreclosure on the Tarquino.
And then what was the vote? Who seconded it?
Nick seconded,
Okay.
and it was unanimous.
Okay,
All in
thank you.
favor. The next case was Sinnett's. On March 3rd, 09, we delivered Mr. and Mrs. Sinnett's a pre-lien letter. On May 27th, 09, we were instructed not to proceed with a lien at this time. If the homeowners are still delinquent with assessments, we can proceed at this time to lien the property. I would say absolutely.
Yes, I make a motion that we advise them to do that lien.
Second thing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's this here one.
Which was that? Okay, so there's a new one.
No, it's from last year. It's from last May. We
All
sent
right.
them a marked letter
We-
last March.
Yeah, it's
2 out of 3, so
So I make a motion, we go ahead with that one also.
I second it.
Is everyone in favor? The Falcone and Della Porta are the ones I just talked about that at the last meeting foreclosure was approved. Toland. The association informed us that there's a new owner in the property by the name of Tony Adams and that he purchased the home from Bank of America. However, Bank of America's case is still pending with Lee County. At this time, based on the association's information, we will prepare a pre-lien letter to the new owner, Tony Adams, to determine if he indeed has purchased the property, and if so, he would be responsible for the entire unpaid assessments. Additionally, we will continue to monitor the bank foreclosure to determine whether or not the bank ultimately dismissed its action against the property.
Sarah, on that one, I'm wondering if, you know, this guy obviously doesn't have our covenants, doesn't have our blue book. I mean, as an association, can we stick something in his mailbox that says, oh, by the way, you're supposed to live by these rules when you move in here, either as an owner or a renter?
Didn't somebody already approach him already?
Well, people have talked to him, but nobody officially. He's never got an official letter.
Yeah,
Send him a letter.
So I think Diane's sending him a letter, but I think.
I can send him the rules and regs, it's just.
Yeah, I think we should send him some. So I make a motion that, Sarah, because you have nothing else to do, that you send him a little letter and say, by the way, here's our covenants and our rules and regs.
All right, I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
The sixth and last case is Fickey, is that? U.S. Bank filed foreclosure. The sale is scheduled for February 23rd, 2010. 10 days after the sale, title will transfer and we can issue a demand letter to the new owner for the unpaid assessments.
To the new owner.
Yeah, whoever, if they have a bidder.
That doesn't happen before, during the time they purchased the house, you get demand letter? Is that normal procedure?
If someone takes over this at a foreclosure sale, which means they're gonna bid courthouse steps, basically, they'll assume all the debt.
All right.
And so at that point, then we would go to the new owner and say, here's the amounts you owe us.
And Diane's on top of that.
Yes. They're tracking that
She
foreclosure.
doesn't need our consent to do that, apparently.
No, it's the bank action, we're just monitoring it.
And,
So we have to vote on that.
There's nothing to do. But wait.
Okay.
and one of our old ones has, we should be getting the money on, right? That
Oh,
one
yeah.
that 23457 in your email?
23457 sold. 23457 Old Meadowbrook Circle sold. I'm showing assessments at 1,460. There's probably going to be attorney fees and things on top of that.
Yeah.
But the attorney has received payment for that, and they're going to disperse that to us in the next week or so. Well, that's you.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
They had to pay that.
No, you probably didn't have to pay it. Was that
It just
part of the
came out
closing?
of, yeah.
It came out.
Thank you.
Okay.
Welcome to the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Welcome. Progress of the Blue Book, easy for me to say, Blue Book revisions. Now, you guys discussed that at the last meeting?
Yeah,
When you're gonna sit down? When
You
want?
guys, the committee heads were all gonna kinda look at it and see if they had some questions about it, or
Okay.
I just wondered where we stand on that. Have you looked at it?
Well,